This is lectures about famous games by top grandmasters. And now we have another famous game, Capablanca, playing with the white piece against Fonaroff. This is a famous game. Probably Capablanca was much stronger than his opponent. I just want you to see the ideas and how quickly things can go wrong if you don't play precisely here. So Capablanca is white. So e4. By the way, Capablanca, world champion number 3 from Cuba, and he was a world champion from 1921 to 1927. And he held the record of unbeaten games, and that was like, I believe it was like more than 5 years he didn't lose a game or something. So e4, e5 we have. Knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, and we have Ruy Lopez. If he plays a6, we have Ruy Lopez, but he plays knight f6. So I guess in 1918 they already knew about the Berlin defense, huh? So castle plate and d6. Of course, this is the main theory right now. Nowadays, exactly 100 years ago, this game was played actually in 1918. So knight takes c4 is the main move in this position. If you were watching the recent Grand Chess Tour tournaments in Paris and Leuven, they had many games, rook e1, knight d6. Many games were played like that. So black plays d6. This is not a best move. It's a concession. And who can tell me the reason why this is maybe not the best move in this position? Like the reasoning. What's wrong with this position? What do you think? What's wrong with this when black plays d6? What is the drawback? So let's see. Yes, Alex?
The square bishop is blocked.
Absolutely. Dark square bishop gets blocked. We would love to get this bishop on c5 if possible. So dark square bishop gets blocked, and now white has an opportunity to play active, okay? To get the control of the center. Absolutely correct. d4. Aggressive approach by Capablanca. He's not giving his opponent a break, and he shouldn't. You shouldn't play knight c3 here, give a break. No, you go for it right away. With the threat of d takes e5, at some point you also have a threat of d5. Now bishop d7 played by Fonaroff. Unpinning the pin and sort of solidifying the position here. Now, what to do here? How to proceed here? It's hard because you have so many interesting possibilities here. You have e5, you have d5, you have d takes e5, you have bishop g5. There's so many things to calculate. You have rook e1. What did Capablanca play here? Ashish. c4. That's a little bit unexpected, Ashish. c4. So you're really going after the space, looks like here in this game here. It's playable. d5, no, c4 I'm not sure, Ashish. I mean, you can play the move. It's just, I don't think it's the strongest. d5, the problem, d5, I go knight here. And then what's happening here? Check, I go here. Okay, your e4 pawn is hanging, Ashish. Don't drop the pawn. So you have to protect that somehow. So maybe, thank you. Just put it down. Thank you. So you go here, but I don't know. Is this that would, well, maybe even g6? No, guys, g6, bishop g7. I don't think this position's. And if you look at Nakamura's games, he always goes for this position and wins, and does quite well. And then he just gets the knight on e8. He plays f5. Okay. Knight c3. Knight c3 is played, and now bishop to e7, rook e1, just developing. White wants to maintain, he doesn't want to commit d5, de, he just wants to develop. Knight goes on c3, rook goes on e1, these are normal moves. And now black commits now, he takes. Now, what do we do here? From here on, I want you to take control of the game. And this is only a 22 move, a short but a very nice victory for Capablanca. Knight takes d4, knight takes d4. Black probably was afraid of getting the double pawns. He didn't want to get double pawns, so that's why he decided to go for it, to do this. Bishop takes, I think he goes knight takes and then some bishop f6 maybe. Bishop takes certainly okay too. But Capablanca wanted him to take on b5, so that's why he took with this. And if you play something like c6, you can drop back on c4 and you keep the bishop. Okay? You drop back and you keep the bishop. So he played knight takes b5. He took actually knight takes b5. Well, while, you know, black probably was thinking, okay, this knight is misplaced here in castle. I think this is maybe inaccuracy. I think he should have played a6. I think he should have played a6, and that allows the knight goes back on c3. I think this a6 was important, okay? To shift the knight back to c3. Because he plays here, and I kind of like what Capablanca did here. No, don't rush. Think a little bit. What did Capablanca... e5, you could, Adi, but you're not going to get that much out of it. You're not that well developed to open up the position. Normally, you want to open up the position when... Couple of things. King is in the middle of the board for the opponent, so you can take advantage. Or you have a lead in development. So when you don't have a lead in development here, and his king is already castled, so that's why you don't want to just play e5 and open it up. Try to think, if you had a choice, right? If you had this idea to put this knight anywhere on the board here, anywhere, where would you like to put this knight? f5, right? That would be ideal. Attacking here, all kinds of threats. And that is what Capablanca is going to do next. He's going to figure out a way to get that knight to f5. How? How is he going to do that, yeah? Queen to d3, you could do that, yeah, but he wants to do it with tempo. Queen to c3, excellent, good work. Yes, queen to c3 now, putting pressure on c7. If he plays c5, then it's a backward pawn, yeah, bishop f4. You know, if you play c5, it could be some problems, you know, bishop comes in here, rook a d1, very quickly, some consequences we see with d6. So he goes c6. Knight d4. Threatening to play knight f5. Okay? Knight d4, threatening to play knight f5. Putting pressure. He goes knight d7. He goes knight d7 here now. Yes, go Alex.
Knight f5.
Absolutely. When you choose a plan, you stay with the plan, right? Now, very quickly in 3 moves, this knight is appearing on f5 already. Very active, putting pressure on g7, putting pressure on e7 as well. Bishop f6, attacking the queen. Bishop f6, attacking the queen. Queen g3, putting pressure on d6, and putting pressure on g7 as well, okay? Putting some nice pressure here. Knight goes to e5. Now you need to continue play energetically here, like Capablanca. Bishop h6 is interesting, but I don't know if you have much after knight g6 when he blockades it, okay? Bishop g6, he goes knight here. f4, pawn f4, I go knight g6, no? Ashish, you're trying to be very direct here, you know, but not always this direct approach is going to work, you know.
Knight x6 check.
Wait, let's finish this line here, guys, first, and then we can discuss the next line. I don't think this is going to be that good for you. Take. Aha! Did you see that one? Well, okay, but I mean, where is your advantage here? I don't think I see. I don't think I see anything substantial here, to be honest. Takes, I take. Okay, you take, I take. No. Okay. Okay. You have a weakness that you need to deal with. Knight takes e5 now threatened. Yeah, you look d7 takes. And who is going to show me the tactic?
Knight
Discovery check, Ashish. See, you got cut. All right, that doesn't quite work. So let's see what Ashish is going to do. Ashish, don't always just think. I mean, I guess you should look for that direct approach, you know, but not always just a very straightforward approach is going to work, okay? And be careful playing f4 because you don't want to weaken the position, okay? You don't necessarily want to weaken the position.
h4.
Adi, h4. Where are you going with h4?
So knight e6 or h5.
Okay. Well, first of all, what do you go after this? You just kick that strong knight from there. I'm sorry? Yeah, but h5, okay. It's like it's one of these situations where, you know, you're attacking without development, you know, and we know what could happen here, right, Ashish? You know, now you're already in big trouble because you move the knight. Who can tell me the winning move? There you go. See, Ashish, very quickly trouble comes in. So I don't know. I don't know. I think, guys, this h4, h5. This is not the right moment here. This is not the right moment to risk everything, you know, to go, you know, for this attack or broke, you know. Okay, so what's the move you're suggesting right now? Correct. Bishop f4 is a natural move, developing and attacking, yeah? Developing and putting pressure on e5. And now, what is the next move that White wants to play here? White really wants to play this move next. That way he can say completing the development. Yeah, Alex?
Rook a to d1.
Absolutely, absolutely. Rook a d1 to put pressure on d6, and you got some nice pressure here. Very logical play. Queen c7 he comes in though. He says, you know, you put the rook on d1, I'm going to put my rook on d6, d8. I'm going to protect my position. Now, what do you do? Rook a d1, right? Adi. Rook a d8, he defends it. Rook a d1, rook a d8. Ashish, think for a few minutes and raise your hand, okay? When you think you have it, you have to calculate, yeah? It's not so simple. Wait a minute. How did you do the checkmate? Knight g4, right?
Yeah.
I take.
I won't let you take my bishop. I know you want to do that. All right, let's go back. Let's go back, guys. Let's try to be more tactical here. Rook takes d6. Excellent, yes. Now he takes back. He has to take. Bishop takes e5, and now if you take bishop takes e5, you have queen takes c5, hitting the queen on d6 and threatening checkmate on g7. That just wins the game right there on the spot. Do you see that tactic? So his opponent realized the trouble here and said, okay, I'm going to go rook d1. Now, what is the idea here, huh? Yes?
I think I see the main idea. Rook d1.
Correct.
And then if bishop e5, then knight h6 check, king h8, queen e5, knight f7, rook f7, rook d8.
Very nice. So actually this position is published in many books. How many of you seen this position before in a book? Like combinations of the world champions, many books, many tactical books have this position. It was very interesting for me that I came across this game and I wanted to see the entire game actually, how it lead up to this position. So idea is correct. We're going to go a little bit slower so everybody can see it. So the idea is we play which move first? Knight h6 check. So this idea works because of a very important theme here. And that theme is Ashish. Back rank, but before back rank, why this tactic works here, right here? Why this tactic works? Back rank and overworked piece. Overworked piece. Who can identify the overworked piece here for black? Yes?
The queen.
Queen. Queen. What else?
Bishop.
The rook as well, right? Because he's defending the back rank.
Okay.
And he's defending f7. So that becomes the rook overworked. So that's how the tactic works. You take with the queen, he takes back, and now you play knight f7. Queen was getting overworked too there on c7, defending f7 and e5. But most important overworked piece is the rook on f8, okay? Because now he's guarding f7, he's guarding the back rank. And if you take here, now you got check, checkmate, okay? Or queen e8. So he cannot do anything, so he has to go here to g8. And if he goes to g8 now, what are you going to do? Take, right? You take back on e5 and you are basically up a knight and 2 pawns. So you're completely winning here. Okay? So that's the very famous idea, okay? So you need to remember. So let's go back here. So this is how it works. Let's go. Who wants to try it? Go. Adi, start. He has to go here first. And now, why can't we start with knight f7?
Oh,
Alex.
because he can take with the queen.
Take with the queen. I take you, Alex.
And f2.
Uh-oh.
And then f1.
Uh-oh. Very big trouble. Excellent. Yes. See, when you're trying to do combinations, that's why move order is very, very important, okay? Move order is very, very important, okay? So remember that. So you go check, he goes here, take, check, and that wins the game. And that's how Capablanca won this game against Fonaroff. Very famous game played exactly 100 years ago in 1918. Now, let's see now if you can remember this game, okay? The entire game that Capablanca did. Let's start. Go ahead. First move.
e4.
E5.
Knight c6.
Over review of the game. Knight c6.
Bishop e5.
What is this opening idea? It's very popular nowadays.
Knight c8. Castle.
What's the idea? The name?
Name.
He's trying to play the Berlin defense, right? The Berlin defense. Okay, castle. Now, what do you do? D6. d4. Yeah, d6 is a bit passive move, so it's a little concession here because it's blocking the bishop on f8, so that's why you play d4 immediately. Bishop d7, knight c3. Now,
Bishop E7.
bishop e7, continue. Now, what do you do?
Rook E1.
Rook e1, he takes,
Knight takes E4.
takes,
Queen takes. Bishop takes. Knight takes. Castle. Queen. C6. Knight E4.
threatening to play knight f5. Yeah, this is an interesting moment here. He probably should have played the move a6 here to push the knight back on c3. He didn't do that, and now this knight landed on f5. Knight f5, and queen. See, that's the way you put the queen on c3 so you can perfectly shift it back on g3 where it will be very active and attacking. Knight goes here, bishop f4. See, logical. Get everybody involved. Never leave a piece in a corner. Bring every piece into the game, okay? You want to bring all of your pieces into the game. Now he goes here. And now time to do tactics. Perfect. Rook takes d6. Perfect. Now you want to take it. If he takes, you just take, right? A double threat. d6 is hanging, g7 is hanging. So he goes here. Yeah, so maybe he should have taken with the queen here, but then knight h6, guys. Oh, this is very interesting. This check first, not take, because if you take check, he actually takes. So you start out with the checky here first. Take, mate. Okay? So, or win the bishop. So that's why he started out with the bishop. Knight h6.
Queen takes e5.
Beautiful.
Queen takes e5. Knight takes f7. Rook takes f7. And rook to e1 and...
Perfect. And if he goes to g8, you just take the piece. Excellent. All right, very good over review. And again, that was the Capablanca, one of the Capablanca's great wins here. Okay. And thank you everybody for coming to this class, and hope to see you next time, okay?